To the Pueblo City County Library District. Today I'm here at the Lucero Branch Library and I'm excited to share some of my favorite stories. My name is Felicia Sanchez Garbizo and I am a storyteller. How many of you love stories? Even if you think you might not be a storyteller, everybody's a storyteller. If you've ever told somebody something really, really exciting that's happened to you and you used a sad face or a happy face or a mad face, then you're a storyteller. And the best part about storytelling is that some of what we tell our stories from, most of the time, come from books. My favorite thing to do is read, of course. I grew up in the library, I worked in the library before, and I continue to read and share stories with everybody I love around me. Today I'm going to share two of my most favorite stories. Actually, I have tons of favorite stories, but these are in my top 5, and they were written by some wonderful authors. And so the first story I'm going to share with you today, I've been telling for many, many years, and I'm excited to share it with you again, especially around this time. So the first story that I'm sharing with you today is called La Hormiguita, written by Joe Hayes. La hormiguita means the little ant in Spanish. And even if you don't speak Spanish, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to learn and understand everything that the story is sharing with you. La hormiguita. La hormiguita waited all winter long in her underground home because the ground was covered with nothing but snow. But no sooner did the snow start to melt, La hormiguita grabbed her mama and she ran to the door and she pointed outside and she said, "Mira, mama, mira! The grass is green, the snow is melting. Can I go outside and play, please?" La hormiguita's mama looked down at her and said, "No, mijita, don't you see those big dark clouds? Can't you feel how cold it is? It's not springtime yet, and I don't want you going outside to play. You hear me?" "Okay," said La hormiguita. But while La hormiguita's mama was busy in her house, she snuck outside to play anyway. Ooh, La hormiguita had a blast. She climbed up every blade of grass. She even went upside down on branches and trees. She was having so much fun that before she knew it, she began to feel a little bit cold. Oh, Mama was right. I better get going home, she thought. So she started to crawl off the branch. And as she was slowly crawling off this wonderful branch, she looked up at the sky and she saw something she had never seen before. La hormiguita was looking at snow. Have you ever seen ants outside in the winter? Oh, not really, right? So while La hormiguita was crawling off that branch, she crawled all the way to the bottom, and she was so amazed at the snow because she had never seen it. She stood there looking at the snowflakes falling. She just stood there in amazement like this. La hormiguita stood there so long looking at these snowflakes floating, floating, floating all the way down that when she went to walk away to go home, she realized that her foot was frozen to the ground. She looked down and she moved her foot and she looked down and the snow had froze her foot to the ground. She told the snow, "Snow, let go of my foot so I can go home." But she said it in Spanish. "Nieve, nieve, suelta mi patita para que vaya a mi casita." And you know what the snow did? The snow looked up and said, "No quiero. I don't want to." Can you say no quiero? No quiero. I don't want to. You don't want to? The snow wouldn't listen to Hormiguita. She didn't know what to say. What would make the snow listen? Maybe she could ask the sun to melt the snow, and then the snow would listen. So she called out to the sun and told the sun to melt the snow. She said, "Sol, sol, derrite nieve, nieve, suelta mi patita para que vaya a mi casita." And the sun looked down and said, "No quiero. I don't want to." The sun wouldn't listen and the snow wouldn't listen. Hormiguita didn't know what she could think. Oh, maybe the cloud. There's a big dark cloud over there. Maybe if she told the cloud to cover the sun would melt the snow. And the snow would go over her. So she called out to the cloud and told the cloud to cover the sun. Nube, nube, tapa sol, sol, derrite nieve, nieve, suelta mi patita para que vaya a mi casita. And the nube, the cloud, looked down. No quiero, I don't want to. I don't want to. Juanita thought and thought what would make that cloud listen to her. And then she thought about the wind. There was a nice breeze flowing around, making it colder. But maybe that wind could blow away the cloud. So she called out to the wind, told the wind to blow away the cloud. Viento, viento, desperata nube, nube, tapa sol, sol, derrite nieve, nieve, suelta mi patita para que vaya a mi casita. And the wind called out and said, the wind wouldn't listen, the cloud wouldn't listen, the sun wouldn't listen, and the snow was not going to let go of her foot. And then she saw a building, a big wall in the distance, and she thought maybe she could tell the wall to block the wind. That would probably make the wind pretty mad. So she told the wall to block the wind. She said, "Pare, pare, ataja viento. Viento, desbarata nube, nube, tapa sol, sol, derrite nieve, nieve, por favor. Suelta mi patita para que vaya a mi casita." And the wall stood there as stiff as could be and said, "No quiero." The wall didn't know what was meaning. So Juanita thought really hard. Wasn't there a little creature that she knew about that liked to gnaw holes through the wall? Do you know any little creatures that like to gnaw holes through the wall? Yes, a mouse. She could call out to the little field mouse and tell the mouse to gnaw a hole through the wall. And that would make the wall listen. She called out to the mouse to gnaw holes through the wall. "Ratón, ratón, aguejeré pared, pared ataja viento, viento desbarata nube, nube tapa sol, sol derrite nieve, nieve, suelta mi patita para que vaya a mi casita." And that little ratón, he looked up while he was eating his little tiny food, and he said, "No quiero, hormiguita." Wow. I don't know about you, but La Hormiguita can only think of one thing that really likes to chase mice. Do you know? I'll give you a hint. Sounds like this. Meow. Yes, a cat. So La Hormiguita called out to the cat. She told the cat to just chase the mouse. She said, "Gato, gato, recoge ratón. Ratón, agujerea pared. Pared, ataja viento. Viento desbarata nube, nube tapa sol, sol, derrite nieve, nieve. Suelta mi patita para que vaya a mi casita." And that little gato looked up, and you know what she did? She said, "No quiero, hormiguita. Meow." Wow. What likes to chase cats? Dogs. Right, dogs. And there was a lazy, big dog sleeping on a porch way in the distance. She thought maybe she could get that dog to chase the cat, and then everybody else would hopefully listen. So she called out to the dog and told the dog to chase the cat. She said, "Perro, perro, persigue gato, gato recoge ratón, ratón agujerea pared, pared ataja viento, viento desbarata nube, nube tapa sol, sol derrite nieve, nieve. Suelta mi patita para que vaya a mi casita." What do you think that dog did? That dog, that lazy dog, barely opened one eye, and he looked over at La Hormiguita and he said, "No quiero. I don't want to." Oh, by now La Hormiguita didn't understand why nobody was helping her, and she was really getting cold. Oh my gosh. Oh, getting really cold. I should have listened to my Then La Hormiguita thought about a little tiny, tiny creature. You know, the little creature that lives on the dog and likes to make that dog itch when it bites it. Yes, a little flea. There's fleas that live on the dog. What if she called out to the flea and she told the flea to bite the dog? Then the dog would listen. So La Hormiguita, she called out and she just yelled one last plea to the flea. She told the flea to bite the dog. She said, ¡Pulga! ¡Pica perro! Perro persigue gato. Gato recoge ratón. Ratón agujerea pared. Pared ataja viento. Viento desbarata nube. Nube tapa sol. Sol derrite nieve. Nieve, por favor. Suéltame, patita, para que vaya a mi casita. Guess what? Well, the flea is the cousin to the ant. And when she heard her prima crying for help, she said, sí, como no. And she bit the dog. Oh, the dog started itching. Ow, 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 okay. So then the dog started chasing the cat. And the cat started chasing the mouse. And the mouse started gnawing holes through the wall because that gato was coming. The wall blocked the wind. The wind blew away. The wind blew away the cloud. The cloud covered the sun. The sun melted the snow. And the snow let go of La Hormiguita's little foot. Ooh, and La Hormiguita ran home as fast as her little legs could carry her. And from then on, La Hormiguita waited until it was springtime, and her mama said that she could go outside and play. And that's the story of La Hormiguita. Now that is one of my favorite stories. What do you think La Hormiguita learned in that story? What do you think she learned that day? Now, a lot of people say, you should always listen to your mom, right? Because you always listen to your mom. Do you all listen to your mama? I hope so. I bet you do. But you know what everybody forgets? The best part of the story and the most important part is, well, you should listen to your mommy all the time. But one of the other important parts is always be nice to your cousins, because she's the one who helped her out. So, as we continue on, I'm going to share the last story today. And this story was written by Antonio Sacri, and this story was told to him by his grandmother. How many of you have grandmas and aunties and uncles and grandpas and cousins and brothers and sisters and everybody who tells you stories? I love those kind of stories. Those are family stories, right? Well, this story was told to him by his grandmother, and he shared it with many, many people, and now I get to share it with you. And this story is called The Barking Mouse. You didn't know that mice could bark? No? Never heard of it? Okay, well, let me tell you about the barking mouse. There was this beautiful little mouse family. They were so cute. There was Papa Mouse, Papa Raton, Mama Raton, and then there was Hermano and Hermana, brother and sister mouse. And they were so happy. They would love to go out on the weekends and make a little picnic in the yard that they lived in. And this yard was really, really big. And sometimes they would go right in the front, but they didn't like to go around the other side of the bush and go too far to the back. Because if they went too far to the back, there lived a big cat. So one day, they all went outside, and while Mama was starting to prepare the meal, and Papa decided to water some of the plants outside while Mama was preparing the meal, the kids asked if they could please go play off to the side with their brand new soccer ball. And Mama and Papa thought about it and said, okay, well, only if you stay away from the fence. Don't get too close to the fence. You don't want to wake up Gato Gordo. Well, brother and sister have never seen Gato Gordo, really. They just heard about him. And, well, nobody wants to mess with a big fat cat, right? So, Mama and Papa loved each other so much. They were so happy anyways. They said, that's fine. I just miss spending time with you anyway. Give me a kiss. And my mom and papa were giving each other kisses, and the kids said, we want to go play. We don't want to see that. Does that ever happen to you? Sometimes, right? So, brother and sister decided to go play off to the side. And as they were playing, they started kicking the ball. And brother was brave, but sometimes didn't listen. Sister kicked the ball to brother, and brother, every time he kicked the ball to her, it would get a little bit closer to the fence. And the last time she picked it up, she said, brother, don't kick it that far. It's going to hit the fence and wake up Gato Gordo. I'm not afraid of Gato Gordo, he said. Boom, he kicked that ball so hard, it landed right on the chain link fence, and it fell off. So brother and sister went as quiet as they could all the way to the fence to get the ball. And as they got close up to the fence, oh my goodness, for the first time, they could see Gato Gordo. He was snoring on the porch. He didn't look that bad, brother told sister. He's all fat and big. He's not going to hurt us. He can't hurt us. Well, he looks kind of nice, said sister. Hi, Gato Gordo, she said. And you know what brother said? Gato Gordo! Stop, said sister. Don't wake him up. I'm not afraid of Gato Gordo. And so we went back and started playing with the ball again. And while brother kicked the ball to sister, this time it hit the fence even louder than before. And by the time they went to grab the ball, Gato Gordo was staring right at them. He looked at them with his big brown eyes. And he licked his lips. Lunch. Oh my gosh, he's coming, he's coming. Gato Gordo jumped off the porch and started running towards both brother and sister. And they started turning around and they were running, and all of a sudden all they heard was BAM! They looked back, and Gato Gordo couldn't jump the fence. He tried to jump off the fence, and BAM! He fell backwards. When they saw that Gato Gordo couldn't jump the fence, brother started laughing so hard his stomach was hurting. Have you ever laughed that hard? Oh my gosh, sister tried her best not to laugh, but it was pretty funny. Oh, leave him alone, sister said. Just leave him alone. And brother wouldn't leave him alone. He said, Gato Gordo, you can't get us. But Gato Gordo was mad by now, and he ran all the way back farther and tried his hardest to run and jump over that fence. And they stood there watching him, and he went, and in slow motion, because he was kind of gordo, you know, he went in slow motion as he jumped the fence, and BAM! He fell right back down. They were laughing so hard. Sister couldn't contain herself this time, and they were on the ground holding their stomachs, laughing so hard. What they didn't realize, though, is that this time Gato Gordo had went back even farther than before. He was really hungry. And he went as fast as he could all the way, and when he jumped up the fence, he didn't fall this time. He got right to the tip, and he was on the tip top of the fence, balancing back and forth with his big gordo belly. And when brother and sister realized that he was ready to pounce, they screamed, Gato Gordo's coming! So they started running as fast as they could. Oh, have you ever been running so fast? But it feels like you're running really slow. That's how they felt. They were screaming, and Gato Gordo, he jumped off the fence, and now he was on the same side of the yard as them. So they were running as fast as they could, and they ran around the bush, and they saw Papa. And there he was, just whistling. I can't whistle. Can you guys whistle? Anyway, imagine Papa. He was whistling along, watering the garden, and he said, Papa, Gato Gordo's coming. He's coming right now. He's gonna come and get us. What? Gato Gordo can't jump that fence, although you shouldn't be bothering him. No, Papa, he really is coming, said sister. Well, don't worry about it. I'll handle this. Let me check. So Papa walked around the bush, and to his surprise, here came Gato Gordo as fast as he could. And Papa, he didn't realize how afraid he was of Gato Gordo because he hadn't seen him in so long. When he saw that big Gordo Gato, you know what he did? He said, ah! And he screamed like a girl. Ah! So they all started running all the way around the house. And when they saw Mama, they're like, Mama, Mama, oh my gosh. Brother tells Mama, Mama, Gato Gordo's coming. And we're running as fast as we could. And then Papa tried to stop him, but he screamed like a girl. Wait, what? He screamed like a girl. No, that wasn't me. That was sister. What was it? Anyway, Gato Gordo's coming. Wait. Everybody get behind me, Mama said. Everybody get behind me. So her whole family was standing behind her. And they were waiting for Gato Gordo to come around the corner. You could almost hear him panting. And right before he came around the bush, Mama stood there, nice and tall, and she went like this. And Gato Gordo froze in his tracks as soon as he laid eyes on them. Did you hear a dog? Was that a dog? Oh my gosh, I don't like dogs. Did you hear a dog? I didn't know you guys had a dog. Did they have a dog here? I'm sorry. Bye. Ah! And Gato Gordo ran back around, jumped over the fence. Thank goodness he didn't fall down this time. He jumped over the fence, and that Gato Gordo, he never jumped over that fence again. And Mama turned around. She looked at her family, and she said, see? That's why it's important to speak 2 languages. And that's the story of the barking mouse. My version. Thank you so much for listening today. And if you would like to join in and hear more stories, join us next week, same time and same day. Thank you so much.